Hello everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Today we are doing a get ready with me while we do a Q&A. I put on my Instagram a few days ago basically asking to ask me anything. I have a lot of content to shoot today, so I figured why not film the Q&A while I get ready. If this is the first time you are seeing my face, hello, welcome to Life with Carys. This is my vlog channel. My main channel is Carys Cachero. It will be linked in the description below. This channel is for me to just have a little bit more of a relaxed video style. It's gonna be trips that I go on, it's gonna be vlogs, it's gonna be different stuff, but just showing the behind the scenes of my life. And so I hope you enjoy this video and get to know a little bit more about who I am. Let's do this. Okay, so we are shooting in my office today. This is where I do my podcast and my YouTube videos. I actually ripped off my sign that was right here and I need to install the new one because it was too big. You could only see end best. And so I need a smaller sign. And so I ripped it off, had to spackle and sand my wall, then repaint. And then now I've got to install the sign, but I'm waiting for my husband to come home because I cannot get it straight. The first question that I have is, would you ever leave Florida? I did this one first because it was actually my sister. I'm calling you out. Like, she's the one who put that. And that is because if it was an ideal world, she would want me to live in Spain with her. It's very different there. And as much as I love where they live, like they live on an island, I think I would need a little bit of a bigger place to live. So Spain mainland, maybe. The question of if I would ever leave Florida, the answer is yes, which I think might shock a lot of people. However, I am not 100% to stay anywhere, in the sense of I would be very okay to move back to Europe. I love Europe. I love the access that you can have to different countries. Public transportation is big over there. People walk a lot over there. I like the food better over there. But I do think that Florida is amazing. If I was gonna live anywhere in America, it would be Florida. That's for sure. I lived in Maryland before here, and I need the hot weather. That's the thing. I'm okay with colder if it's just for a little bit of the year, but I'm a hot weather person. Florida, would I ever leave? The answer is yes, but it would have to be going to the right place and the right opportunity. When I'm shooting this, myself and my husband actually go on our honeymoon next week, and we're going to Italy, Greece, and London, and that's gonna be great. The next question is, what made you want to get into real estate? I'll tell you a few different reasons. First of all, real estate was something that I only took basically because when I first moved to America, when I was 20 years old, I couldn't work. Because of this, it got to that point that I liked to do something. I had just graduated college, I had my degree, but when you can't work, you can't work. I had always heard people talk about real estate, and I was like, you know what? Like, what can it harm? What can it hurt to just get my license? I'm someone who does like to study, and I do like to learn new things. So I just figured I would take the course and then see what happens, right? And I ended up passing the first time around, and I was like, this is actually really interesting. Now, I was, bear it in mind, just moved to America in a new area, and I had just turned 21. It was hard. It was hard getting into the industry. However, the question, what made you want to get into real estate? What made you want to be in real estate? It was number one, because of the fact that you could be your own boss. I never liked doing the same thing every single day. Like, I'm a habits person, but I want to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. You know, of course people want to do that, but I saw real estate as a way to be my own boss. I also saw it as a way to have uncapped earning potential. I saw that real estate was a way that I could make money, but it would be dependent on how hard I chose to work. And I loved that. I love the fact that it was performance based. So why did I get into real estate? Income potential, being your own boss, flexibility to do what I want to do. And those are probably the main things. Okay, next question. What advice do you have for starting a YouTube channel? Starting a YouTube channel, it can be tricky, but it's very exciting. I love shooting content. YouTube, I started 3 and a bit years ago, and I absolutely love it. I think it's an incredible way that you can build your brand, build your business if that's what you're trying to do. Advice for starting. Number 1 is know the pillars that you want to talk about on your YouTube channel and figure out how you can solve people's problems. Like, however you're starting a channel, you just need to do a lot of research to know who it is that you are trying to talk to, and then you want to be the answer to their questions. Another piece of advice for starting a YouTube channel, if you have the ability to, get someone to edit them. Highly recommend having someone edit your videos. I have been with the same team for years now, YouTuber Automation. I will leave them linked in the description below. They're amazing. They took so much time away from me having to edit myself. The way that I thought about it was I did the first few videos myself, and I was realizing that I was taking average 3 to 4 hours to edit one video. When you are in business or in anything, really, you should know how much money your time is worth. So for me, when I looked at how much 1 hour of my time was, 1 hour, it cost less to hire people to edit the video. And that was just 1 hour. So when you're being smart with your time and being smart with how much your time is worth, you can look and see what makes sense with outsourcing. So not only was it getting me my time back, but it also was professionally done. It was turned around quicker. It overall made sense. So if you're starting a YouTube channel, as soon as you can, hire editors. They also chop everything up into shorts so you can repurpose the content as well, which also would be a tip for YouTube channels, is if you can, try and do it so that you can then get it chopped up into shorts so you can repurpose the content. Any other advice for starting a YouTube channel? I know you probably don't want to hear about this, but consistency. The more you post, the more chances you have to grow. Be the answer to people's problems. I have a whole bunch of videos for starting a YouTube channel on my main channel, so go and check out those videos because they're very good for breaking down how you want to start them, how to find content ideas, and all of that good stuff. Next question. Have you always been a Christian, or is it only recently? I've been noticing your new Christian content and I love how you talk about God. Thank you, first of all, because that means the world to me. So this has been an interesting journey for me. To start off, I was baptized when I was young, and I, went to church with my school and stuff like that, on the holidays and things, but I never really had a relationship with God. I never had a relationship with Jesus. And then in 2018, I was at my lowest low. It was bad. It was a very dark path for me. I had been invited to church this one weekend, and that one time I was there, I still remember I stood at the back of the church and I just bawled my eyes out because the sermon just felt like it was for me. And I still remember this guy came up, and I stood at the back because there was no seats, and he just came up to me and hugged me, and I just continued to bawl my eyes out to this stranger. That weekend, I went to church again the next day, and that was the weekend I was like, I need to change. This is not gonna go this way. This is not what God has called for me to do in my life. And that was 2018. Ever since then, I have been building up my relationship with God. It's been a journey. I've built and developed everything really over the last, 6 years? Completely turned my life around. And it's all thanks to God. All credit goes to him. But thank you for the kind words about my new Christian content. I haven't started yet from when I'm shooting this video, but when this goes out, I probably will have launched on my main channel. I'm starting a new series called Word of the Week, where I talk about different things in the Bible, breaking down verses, talking about stories in the Bible. And so if you are a Christian or you want to learn more, go check those videos out because it's very close to my heart, and God changed my entire life. He literally saved me. And so I love to talk about it. Okay, I need to hurry up. Next question. How long have you been in America? Were you always in Florida? No, I was not always in Florida. And so I graduated college in 2016, then I moved to Maryland, and then I moved to Florida in 2020. Next question, tips to start waking up earlier. I keep trying, but I can't seem to continue. This was something that I trained myself to do. When I was in a very rough place in my life, I found it really hard to get out of bed before like 10, 11 o'clock. And then it got a little bit earlier, and then it was kind of like that 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And that was basically as good as it was gonna get. And then I realized that I love to wake up before the sun comes up. And I wanted to push myself to be able to get up at 6, right? It was 6 to start. And so I gradually, little by little, started waking up a little bit earlier, which is one of my first tips, is make it a gradual change. Don't try and just do it one day and wake up suddenly at 5 a.m. the next day. So first tip, make it a gradual change. Second tip for waking up early would be to create some sort of morning routine. Mine is like 3 or 4 hours, but for you, it could be 15 minutes. It could be 30 minutes in the morning that you spend when you wake up, but make it something that you enjoy to do. I get up, I get ready, I take my dog Faith out for her walk. It's time for my brain to get creative, and it just gets me in a flow when I'm walking. Then I get back, I get ready, I go work out, and all that good stuff. So get a morning routine that you actually enjoy and that you are excited to wake up for. The next tip that I have for waking up early is to talk to yourself, which probably sounds really weird. As soon as I wake up, I thank the Lord for waking up that day. And I say it's a beautiful day to be alive. And I just start talking to myself to get up and get out of bed. If you are someone who wakes up and automatically starts speaking how you're tired and you're cozy, control the thoughts that you're having and start speaking good things over yourself and talk yourself into being able to wake up. Now, if you are someone who is an alarm snoozer, use a Hatch alarm clock or get one of the sensor ones that you have to physically stand on in order to turn it off, or just put your phone further away from your bed. Do anything you can in order to not snooze that alarm. The fact is, snoozing your alarm, you do not feel any better by getting up at 9 minutes later. If anything, you feel worse. Don't even give yourself time to think or negotiate with yourself. Just get up and go. Okay, next question is, how did you and your husband meet? We met actually at the gym. We are both big into working out, so honestly, it was perfect to meet someone at the gym, because then you know that they like to do the things that you do. But what was even crazier is he actually lived across the street from me. Like, you drove out of our gym. I lived at the apartment complex on the left. He lived at the one on the right. So you could walk from my house to his house. We have been together now for 5 years and married for 2.5 months. He's my best friend. And you will see more of him in my upcoming vlogs when we go on our honeymoon. Next question, biggest tips for young women getting into real estate. This is a good question because you're not only dealing with the actual safety issues in the industry, but also being young too is hard. It's hard being young, especially when you are trying to sell people's house when you don't even own one yourself. First things first is get extremely competent about your market and about your craft. The more knowledge that you have, it's like a toolbox. The more you can pull from when you're being able to speak to people about the industry, about the market, about whatever it is, the listing presentation, become very competent, and it will help you have confidence in the industry. Other advice I have in regards to the safety aspect, try and get some sort of person with you to go to places as much as you can. If you are doing an open house, have a lender there. If you're going door knocking, bring somebody else, whether they're an agent or not an agent. When I used to door knock in real estate, I would go always with another agent, and then we would just choose certain streets. They take one side, I take the other side. And that would be how we'd be able to check and keep an eye on each other, that the other person is still safe and good. The industry can be dangerous. Please be careful, please be safe. Make sure you always do pre-qualifying questions of your own for people before you meet them. Get their license picture, have someone know where you're going at all times, make sure your location is on, and never, ever meet somebody for the first time in a house. Always go somewhere beforehand in public where other people are there before you go and meet somebody in a house to do a showing. Hopefully that helps. Okay, I can't get to all the questions, but I'll answer a couple more. First one is, how do you make high value friends? I feel like I don't have other people who are on the same goals as me. First things first is you need to evaluate the people that you're friends with now and distance yourself where is necessary. The people that you are around have a huge impact on who you are and who you're going to become. That quote that you are the sum of your 5 closest friends is very much true. So take analysis over the friends that you have now and make any adjustments that you may need to. Then you need to find people who are on the same journey as you. People who have that same mindset as you. I actually met 2 of my closest friends, both of them bridesmaids in my wedding, through TikTok. Thank you, TikTok, for introducing me to my girlies. We realized that we had very similar interests, and then we met in person, Sarit and Marissa, and we just hit it off, and we've been friends for years. And I feel like no matter where you're going, whether it be online, out and about, it's being able to put yourself out there to connect. And there have been people who I have met with and it just didn't really gel. That's okay. You are not for everybody, just as everybody is not for you. And I think that that's a really important thing to know, because you can be a kind person, you can be a polite person, but just because you don't fit doesn't mean you need to force yourself to be friends with certain people. The last question that I'm going to answer, and then I have to go because I have a lot of content to shoot for a couple of different brands, is, now that you're married, do you plan to have kids soon? It's gonna be in the plans. I never actually used to want kids. My parents thought they were gonna have grandkids that were dogs, and that's it. But hopefully, God willing, if that time comes, what I do want to actually do with this channel as well is, when I'm going through one day a pregnancy, hopefully, I want to show the behind the scenes on this channel of basically how my life is going to change. Because for one, I think it's going to be really interesting, especially someone like me who is very routine, very strict, very habit orientated, how everything is going to change and how I'm adapting and evolving with it. And then also, I love the idea of basically having this content that one day I can show to my small one when they're not so small. And you just document the journey. Like, it's one of the reasons why I love vlogging, and I wanted to have this channel, was basically to show going through the journey of life and then just always being able to have those to reflect back on. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and get to know a little bit more about me and some tips that I have for certain things. The next videos that you will likely be seeing will be prep and going on our honeymoon trip to Europe. My main channel will be linked below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.